Hello, hello, hello. Here I am with my beautiful moment with honesty. You guys are so fortunate. I get this all the time. So,
So, what are we talking about this week, baby?
Thanksgiving, right? Gratitude.
Yeah, we were kind of like, what do you want to talk about? I was like, I don't know. Let's just talk about Thanksgiving. It's the week of Thanksgiving. And I think this Thanksgiving was kind of hard for everyone because of, COVID. And there was a lot of families out there that didn't get to be together this Thanksgiving. And we were one of them. We're down here in Florida. So this was our first Thanksgiving in Florida. Um, and I think, with the whole COVID-19, there were lots of families that weren't together. And I was thinking about this, and there really isn't that many Thanksgivings that you remember. You know what I mean? If I really try to think of, like, okay, I'm 42. But, there's only maybe like 5 Thanksgivings that if I really thought about that, I can really picture and remember. And I've had, obviously been around for 42 Thanksgivings, but I can really probably only remember 5. And I think this is going to be one of them that a lot of people are going to remember. And I think they're going to be more grateful for that, because I think they're going to be like, at least this wasn't that COVID Thanksgiving where, a lot of families that we didn't get together. We didn't get to have our traditional things. And I think that's going to make next Thanksgiving a little bit more better and a little bit more grateful.
Yeah, you
What
always
do you
have
think,
the
baby?
things that you always appreciate the things that you don't have, right? You don't really understand what you have until it's gone. And it's this whole thing. Like when we moved down here, it was like, you're excited and you're terrified, right? But then at the same time, it was one of the greatest blessings ever, even in the turmoil of all that's happening. So I really think where we choose to look, right? It's like I read a beautiful metaphor in a book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. And he said that your mind, the brain stores images. In the subconscious mind, the mind's perfect, the memories are perfect. We just forget them. It's the recall. And he said that your mind, think of your brain, the cells are almost like photographic paper, where we get to choose. We point it where we want it to go. We point the camera where we want it to go. So if we're pointing it down and away to things that we don't appreciate, that's what you're going to see more of. But if you point it up into where you want it to go, you're going to see more of what you want. And so it was kind of cool. We had a family we didn't know, but you kind of feel like you know those people. And they were traveling, and they came over, and it was I didn't know this, but it was the first time that they were going to be away from their family in 39 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they have daughters, beautiful little girls that stayed the night and they had never done that before. And it was just incredible. Like all these little things that probably would have never occurred that we got to experience and partake in simply because of this situation. Right. So don't let a situation hinder where you're going to go. That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
I think a lot of families had to adapt, and you know what I mean? And I think that's important, that if you're able to adapt and be like, okay, we're going to make this good, even though this isn't our ideal situation. This isn't what we were planning. Like last Thanksgiving, we're like, okay, next Thanksgiving is going to be like crazy.
who would ever thought that?
Nobody ever saw this coming, and so you have to be able to adapt and make, the best, out of a bad situation, like the best you can. And I mean, everybody wishes they could have been with their family, It would have been wonderful to be with my family and see my mom, and you know what I mean?
But I promise you it's going to make it more special, right? As Darwin said, he said, it's not the strongest species that survives, it's the one that adapts, as you were saying. So you're going to remember, if you think about it, the thing that's perfect, you never appreciate it. That's when it's perfect, right? What you appreciate is the memory. It's the experience. It's not the thing, it's what was brought about. We had a dinner 10 years ago, and someone worked really hard and something didn't turn out the way it wanted, and they were upset about it. And I get it. I mean, I've been like that. But then what happened is they took this situation, and we still to this day, even though it didn't turn out the way it was intended, that was a memory that we all still laugh about now, but we cried about then.
And we try so hard to make it perfect. Like, I think there's a lot of pressure on Thanksgiving. Like, it's like the dinner of the year, right? Like, it's like, okay, this is it. This is like the Super Bowl of dinners, I feel like. And it has to be perfect, but it's not. Like, anybody knows me is like, I am not a cook. Like I don't enjoy cooking. So for me to make Thanksgiving dinner, it's like, oh my gosh, I gotta make Thanksgiving dinner. It's the biggest dinner of the year. And I'm not like the cook. And mine didn't come out that great. Like, I mean, my stuffing was like terrible. It was crumbly. I don't know. I need some help with the stuffing.
Yeah.
Probably because I don't make stuff. That's not something you make like every day.
Right.
And so mine was like, it was falling apart. It was not like together.
Come together.
I mean, I think it tasted okay. I mean, it didn't
I
taste
enjoy
terrible.
this here. Hey, I'm in the hope that
He
if
has
somebody,
to say that.
if somebody
He has
prepares
to say
something for me, I'm
enjoy.
going to enjoy it, right? But no, seriously, like the point is, it's not about being perfect. It's making the moment perfect and understanding what you're getting from the moment, right? This situation going on, it will pass. It too shall pass. But what can you extrapolate out of it? What can you learn from it? Live your life in the moment. You're not tiptoeing through life trying to make it safely to death. Stop doing that. And, you know, I always try to give myself a remembrance of when I drive my car, that rear view mirror represents my past. And it's the smallest part of what I'm looking out. And it's designed to be that way so that I learn from it. I can see behind, not live there, because if I keep looking there, I'm going to wreck, right? So learn from this. Learn what this has taught you, how literally the world can change so fast, right? Understand that, use that as a guide, but be in the moment and focus where you're going. Our little girl was riding horses the other day. And when she was going to make a turn, her teacher said, look where you want to go. The point, look where you want to go. Stop living in the terrible moments and put the moments in that you want and focus on that.
And I think we need to take a little pressure off too, because like, you know, when you think about if you really sit back, and I want everyone to kind of think of like, okay, what Thanksgivings do you remember? What you remember about those Thanksgivings is being with your family. You know what I mean? You remember where you were at, who was there, what you did. You're not like, oh yeah, remember that gravy from 1995? That was amazing. You know what
But
I
if you
mean?
burnt it, we remember that one.
Yeah. Or do you remember that turkey from 2002? That was fantastic. And did you see how clean her baseboards were? You know?
Right.
Like nobody remembers that part.
See,
you know, they remember the important things, being with their family, what we did, and we sat around at dinner. They don't remember the food, but we put so much pressure on ourselves to try to make it perfect.
Yep. Absolutely.
Anyways.
Yes. Totally. I like that. Right. So anyway, guys, we love you guys. If there's someone out there, you know, that this can help, right? Because we weren't always this way. We've learned to laugh at ourselves a lot. Takes a lot of practice.
Yeah.
And so, but like I said, hopefully you get some nuggets out of this. Have a fantastic week. Next week, we'll be back here at 11:15 again, every Saturday. You get a moment with my beautiful wife, Honesty, whom I get to live with. So love you guys every day and every way. Get better and better. Go make it a great day.